Okay, so here we go. Good evening. My name is Diane Gary, and it's the Finger Lakes Regional EMS Council bi-monthly meeting, November 23rd, 2020. And I welcome you all to this meeting. Can we have a roll call, please?
Sure. Daryl Bailey.
He might be late. He had to go pick up his son.
Okay. Kevin Becker.
Here.
All right. Laura Brewer.
Here.
Jackie DeShaw.
Here.
Everett Ferguson.
Here.
Diane Gary.
Here.
Myself, I am here. Jeremy Hares.
Here.
The other Hares. Tyler.
Present.
Outstanding. Mr. Hubble.
Present.
Fiona.
Here.
Sandy Johnson. Sandy Johnson. I see you here. I think you might be muted, dear. I see her talking. Sandy's here. All right. Mickey Kelly is excused. Ray Kriegelstein.
I'm here.
All right. Gloria Lance Taylor.
Here.
Bill Little.
Here.
Kevin Lightfoot. Kevin Lightfoot. Haven't seen him sign in, so there. Mr. Mace.
Here.
Mike Moss. Rich Mumford.
Here.
Brian O'Kay.
Here.
Miles Pearson.
Here.
Terry Phillips.
Yes.
Patty Pearson.
I see her connecting to audio.
I'm going to say she's here then. Valerie Schoen. Tad Smith.
Here.
Matt Spruill.
Here.
All right. And Eric Williams.
Yep.
All right. Madam Chair, you do have a quorum for this evening.
Thank you, sir.
Of course.
Dad, I just noticed you have a sling on. What happened?
Surgery on my hand today.
Oh, is everything okay?
Oh yeah, it'll be fine.
Okay, good. Did you all get a chance to read the minutes?
Yes.
Yes.
Any concerns, questions?
Diane,
Yes, sir.
just not about the minutes, but we should introduce the guests also.
Okay, I have not the ability to see guests, I guess. I don't.
So joining us tonight is Al Kalfas from Finger Lakes Ambulance, Mr. Brian Reedman from the Department of Health, and Mr. Ed Majors from the Department of Health.
Okay, for some reason they didn't show up. So, gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight. We greatly appreciate your interest. Anything else about the minutes?
I move we adopt them. Bill Little, Wayne County.
Yes.
Second.
All in favor, please.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Moving right along into committees. Secretary, do you have anything you'd like to say?
I do not. We had a member who was close to being dismissed, but all of his invites ended up in that pesky spam folder. He's with us tonight, so that's all I have for the secretary report is progress.
Good. The treasurer, Matt, how are you today?
Mr. Secretary, Kevin Lightfoot's joining.
Outstanding. I will add him to the roll.
I think everything's been emailed out for the treasury. I don't think there's anything anything unusual. Everything looks fine.
Good.
Madam Chair, I'd make a motion that we accept the treasurer's report as written and presented.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And moving right on. While we're on the treasurer's report, I don't know if everyone knows this, but John is a program agency director, is selling our used and outdated textbooks. And we've almost hit the $3,000 mark. So I applaud him for that. That's a wonderful thing to do for the council. So thank you, John.
Thank you.
Training and ed, Bill.
The report was emailed out earlier today. But if anyone hasn't received it, I can go through it, but otherwise it was mailed out. Any questions?
I make a motion that we approve the training and education report as submitted.
I'll
Brian May,
second.
second.
All in favor, please.
Aye.
Aye.
Any
Thank you.
opposed? Thank you, Bill.
You're welcome.
Into executive. John, I don't know if you want to tell them our good news today, or should we be quiet until we get the full?
Yeah, I would defer until we get a official notice.
Okay. So we have a suspenseful meeting coming up in January for you.
Good.
Oh, something like
Until
that.
now.
We're getting him a lot of money?
No. No, it's just the executive board is going to Aruba. That's all right.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, okay.
So moving right, other than the executive board, the only thing I can really tell you is that Donna's been working on the classes diligently because, as you know, with COVID, things are going to get a little sticky. So thank you, Donna, for all the hard work you put into that. Other than that, life is normal.
Define normal.
So moving right along into public relations. Nothing for public relations. How about REMAC? Dr. Davidoff had sent his report. Did you all get a chance to read it?
Yes.
Yes.
I cannot answer for him, but do you have any questions?
Madam Chair, we do have 2 additional doctors to approve for the REMAC, for their appointment to the REMAC, I should say. Dr. Dewey, who is an attending physician at Strong Memorial and is the Associate Medical Director for Farmington Ambulance. And Dr. Shi, who is a third-year resident who will be joining the Finger Lakes Health Team down here at Geneva General this summer, and an ED attending. And both of them have expressed interest in joining the REMAC.
John, can you give me the last name of that second physician again, please?
SHIH.
Got it. Thank you.
Madam Chairman, I would move that we add those physicians to the roster for REMAC.
Tad Smith, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Any oppositions?
The more the merrier.
That has been approved. Anything else for Jack's report?
I move we accept his report. Bill Little.
We have a second.
Second, Brian May.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any oppositions? As there is none, moving right along into State EMS Council. Jason.
We have meetings scheduled on the 8th and 9th of December, so I will have hopefully lots of exciting information to report back from the state in January.
Cool. Would
I do know this just crossed my email inbox today. The Advanced Practice Committee for the region has done a lot of work on a specialty care transport protocol, and that will actually be going to Med Standards and CMAC for approval that may end up going statewide, and the collaborative group is interested in the possibility of adopting them as well. So kudos to everybody on that group, and it's going forward.
It's already set up to them.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Nice dog, Mike.
Would Brian,
He
excuse
always
me,
likes to get in the
Miles.
show. He likes to get in the show.
Brian or Ed, would you like to tell us anything? Our state reps?
Yeah, absolutely. It's Ed first here. The couple things. Obviously, COVID is significantly on the rise. We always like to focus on ensuring that agencies are prepping and not becoming any less important with PPE and PPE supplies, supply chains, and those kinds of things. Is I know many agencies have ramped up, and social distancing and PPE and hand sanitizing and all those good things related to the importance of preventing the additional spread of COVID. We're seeing a lot of EMS agencies going into either adult care facilities or nursing homes, and they're all of a sudden getting multiple requests for COVID positive patients that are not symptomatic. If you do see trends, if your agencies are seeing trends in that, we'd ask that those be reported off to us so that we could refer either to our nursing home division or to our adult homes or whichever. If it's a state regulated facility, we'd certainly be interested in knowing that so that we can communicate that and try to ensure that infection control practices and the standards are being met. The Department of Health has guidance for adult care facilities, nursing homes, other regulated facilities specific to their patient population. So we want to make sure that those things are being adhered to and that the EMS system is taking the brunt of things that not necessarily should be immediately transported. So if you do get those, I would ask that you contact our office with the data and we will refer it off to the appropriate division for follow-up. I'm sorry.
How did you want that reported? Just like
I think email is fine. You know, you can and I'm going to just to communicate. Brian Weedman, who's on the call here with us, he is now. There's a couple changes in the bureau. I said this at the REMAX, so it may be a little bit duplicative, but what's happened in the Western region is Brian Weedman has been reassigned from Albany to the Western region. So in addition to that, Don Trepez, who had been primarily associated or affiliated with the Western region, will still be housed in the Western region, but his primary role will be in emergency preparedness, response, and recovery. So he'll be working with a gentleman, actually Ford Deputy Director Steve DeJura and Mike Lenahan out of the Merrill office. He's been assigned to that division also. Don will also report to me. Basically 1 day a week we'll have him in the Western region. But what we're going to do is we're going to sort of restructure the primary state rep roles by county. So I'm going to be working with Brian on that. But my assumption at this point is that Brian Weedman will become the primary rep for the Finger Lakes Regional Council and the Melrens Council, also the Southern Tier. And then I will take the other half of that on the Western side. And then Don Trepez will be just an augment as we go from there. Certainly our office, I'm always preaching to Director Greenberg and Deputy Director DeZura that the Western region used to have 4 people. We need additional staff to really accomplish the mission and the goals that we need to accomplish. But Brian's going to be a great addition to our team. We've started him off in the Rochester office where he'll be housed. And so that's in transition as we speak, and there'll be further details on that. So barring any questions, I don't think I have anything further. Brian, you're welcome to communicate anything that you think is important to communicate about. But if there are questions, let me know. Thank you.
Thank you, Ed. Did Brian want to say anything?
I'll just say hello, and
Hello.
I'm happy to be working with everyone in this region and the other regions that I've been assigned. So looking forward to seeing you guys face to face someday.
Thank you, Brian. Thanks for joining us.
Just one other thing, I want to thank Bill Little for sending over the law that needs to be evaluated related to continuity of operations and whether that impacts EMS. I did send that up. Deputy Director DeJure was going to follow up, Bill. So as soon as I get something back, I will send that out and there may be more information on it. So thank you for providing that.
Oh, thank you. I didn't mean to get a fire started, but we're having to do it for the county people, and I just wasn't sure how far out to have to reach with it.
Yeah, and we really, to be honest with you, our Deputy Director hadn't read it yet. We hadn't read it yet, so thanks for sharing that.
Okay, didn't mean to do that.
Okay, moving right along in our reports. Legislative review, I don't think we have anything for that. Going into program coordinator, John, you're up.
So work is underway for the conference. It'll be virtual in nature this year. We've been able to secure 5 lectures already with speakers, and surprisingly, we've gained 2 conference sponsors already for the conference. So I'm quite happy about that. Working on getting the electronic components in order so we can begin to advertise for that. The dates will be February 26th and 27th. We're looking at Friday afternoon from like 3 to 6, and then an all-day Saturday session. In addition, for instructors, we're working on trying to get Dan Batsey to do an instructor CME session to encompass the 6 hours of CMEs for everybody, so that they can maintain their instructor certifications. Hope to get something on the books here soon with that, but as you can imagine, Dan's been quite busy at his regular job. As Jason mentioned, we have submitted the SCT protocols to the DOH. They went up to Vail today. And Jeremy, I know you were going to do some formatting stuff, but we thought that would not prohibit them going up. And then finally, for right now, just letting everyone know, Mercy Flight is planning a webinar for January 13th of 2021. That'll be virtual in nature and free of charge on a couple different subject matters. So it'll be like a 3-hour CME. And that'll be it for right now.
Thank you. Any questions for John?
John, I have a question.
Of course you do.
Hi, sorry. Were you able to reach out to that doc that was willing to do a lecture?
I did talk to him. He's one of the 5.
Okay, and then I may have 2 more from you from Newark Hospital.
Okay.
Okay.
Just get him to put them in writing because your one is trying to back out, I think.
Oh, the original one that always backs out?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Nice.
Anything else for John? Moving right along, Donna? Donna? John, is she around?
She is. They're unmuting their computer.
Okay, here we go. So we did a preceptor workshops on Wednesday and Thursday. By putting on their seat was limited, we ended up with 13 on each evening, which is a lot better than the 2 or 3 I usually get. John did their certificates and they're out to them tomorrow. The agency's package is going out for the agencies to update their list, that type of a thing. I just want to let everybody know, because you're going to hear about it, the FLCC Geneva campus is being shut down tomorrow at 4:30 through next Sunday for COVID cleaning. We had 5 positive COVID EMS students, instructors, whatever, And so they have gone to, they have actually shut down the educational piece until Thursday, the 3rd of December. They can start back up on the 4th. That comes from public health. Some of them are in quarantine, some of them are not. A lot of them are still going to work because they're essential workers, so different things like that. But if you come to the building, you still have to go through the front doors. But for the most part, the week of the 30th, the building will be shut down unless you are coming in to do business with us or whatever. There'll be no students in the building. I have sent to the state because they had already granted one class, and after today, I sent to John McMillan and Jean Taylor to ask for all 3 or 4 classes that are here to have their practical extended to do on December 12th, so that they all would get time for practice in that week before then, to make sure that they can pass the practical exam. So just to let you guys know that if you call in the office during the Thanksgiving weekend, there's going to be nobody here. The phones will be, you can leave a message and that'll be about it. So paramedic applications for the paramedic class starting in January are out. The deadline is coming up in the next week or 2. So if you have anybody that's interested, make sure you get them out there. I listened to the sponsorship WebEx last week, and Ed, jump in here if I get something wrong, all right? One of the things that they talked about was the fact that in September, there were 224 students that were eligible to take the test, and only 110 signed up to take it. So they're quite concerned about retention issues. And I went back through and had Leanne look up today, all of our kids from spring that we finally got done through the summer and through Labor Day. We have, right now, we have 16 kids who have not even signed up to take the test yet, and I'll be calling them. We had 4 fail the exam the first time. We have had 3 fail it twice. We also have 9 in our spring class that are currently in our EMT class in the fall, making up their class because a lot of them were HWS students who went home and never came back until September. So they are currently in an EMT class here finishing that up. So we will do some calling to find out why if we can help them do whatever. The one thing that they did say though, is that students are calling and asking about where their cards are. They haven't got their cards, And Jean said they just printed the September cards for their results and that. They are only going to print cards for the students that test within the first 2 months of the end of their class. After that, if a student tests after that 60-day mark and they pass and they want a card, they have to do the form that asks for a duplicate card to be issued to them. Because Jean said there are so many of them that are going scatter here, scatter there, they'll test this month, they wait another month, whatever, that they're not going back and try to check them back against who got a card and who didn't. They're going to run the list once. Those that have tested and passed will get the card at the 60-day mark or whatever, give or take. And then anybody that tests after that will have to request a duplicate card. Ed, did I say that correctly?
Yes, that's absolutely correct. And then from an agency perspective, the only thing that I would add is that agencies can verify whether somebody is certified or not through the health commerce system. So keep that in mind.
Yep. So I'm going back to some of my kids that I know have passed and say to them, if you haven't got your card, here's the form you need to fill out to get a card. John's been very gracious for some of my HWS kids and those that we have that aren't affiliated with an agency yet to give them out of the health commerce that they have passed, so they have a card. But that was the first that we had known about that. And I'm not complaining about it. I'm just telling folks this is how they're going to do it. So it'll be a little bit more background work for me here, but it'll be what it's going to be, okay? Sponsorship renewals, which was for FLCC and for the council, that was due 6/30 of 20, initially was extended twice now. Now it's going to be extended through 5/31 of 21. Jean is still working on the administrative manual and the new practical sheets and the new practical administrative book. She did say, though, that those new sheets would not be used until all of this stuff is out. And it would be designated for classes that start after everything has been put out. So it would not be proposed to us in the middle of a class. So I'm going to use an example of, say she gets everything done and we get it in March. Anything we've started before March, from January to March, would still be under old practical. The others would be under the new practical. Okay, make sense? I don't hear any answer. Okay. Let me see here. They're going to allow the ASHE cards for ACLS. If folks teach ASHE, that's okay. The thing for the paramedics, for paramedic originals, we'll be doing a national registry practical exam. The only ones that will be doing the New York State exam will be refreshers, paramedic refreshers. And that may be a 2-day exam depending on how many people there are and whatever is going to go to that. But there has to be 2 proctors to that. One will be a state proctor, state rep from DOH, and then the other one will be a national registry proctor. Liz went on to say that she had just done the NEMC Instructor 1 online course, so that is good for New York State instructors CIC requirements if someone does that. And then somebody asked about, they were talking about doing the practical skills exam and trying to get it done earlier, even if the class was not ending. If there was anything that we could do to move the practical up and do the extra classes at the end, like maybe ops or different things like that, so that we could get the kids done, because they're afraid that things are going to happen and things will get shut down. The thing on that is they can do the practical, but they have to finish the class to be able to get credit for it before we can send anything in. So it's not that they can do it ahead of time and skip the rest of it. They still have to do that material. We all know about the 20% withholding. We are getting withheld 20% from any vouchering that we send in for classes and stuff like that. And I think that's about all I got. I got 5 pages out of it, but I'm just writing notes that I had written to myself. They're going to talk about a possible meeting for the paramedic sponsors because of the national registry stuff in that. And then we have to make sure that we have an up-to-date exposure plan, which we do here. John very graciously put that together. He and I kind of worked on it, but he finished putting it all together. So that is here. We've given it out to Cheshire Fire Department, and Ontario asked for it, so we've given it out. Spring classes, I did a little jiggle, a little joggle on it. We will have an original probably at the West Lake Road Firehouse on Sundays and Wednesdays. That's normally the one that we have here with the HWS kids, and checking with them, they can get to the West Lake Road Firehouse with no problem. So we're trying to move that out of here. The other thing that will be moved out of here is there is a refresher that will be going in Phelps. 1 day a week. It will start in February. It will test the first part of June. Gloria's doing one up in Sodas Town, I'm sorry. That's going to be a February, March, 2 days a week, and they can get done in April. And we will have another original one that will be a 1 day a week that will start in February and end in test in August. And Missy Greek-Rouse is going to do that because she's one of them that's up to have a class. So we put up just the 4 for now, besides the paramedic refresher and the challenge for the nurses and Jake's new paramedic class. There'll be a critical care core in with the paramedics. And if any of the paramedics come and want to do the national registry, there's that opportunity for them too. But kind of light, because I'm trying to keep everything out of here as much as I can, because if things shut down and SUNY shuts us down, this will be the first place that will shut, but they don't seem too excited about being out in the firehouses and that. And that's my report.
Thank you, Donna. Is there any other questions for Donna?
Yeah, Donna.
Sure.
Wasn't the paramedic applications due today? That's, so, someone did get a hold of an application. They thought it was due next week, but evidently the website had 2019's application up still. So they talked to Jake today and did get it in, but I don't know if that was the only potential student that was confused about the deadline.
If they picked up an application, it said it was due no later than the 23rd, yes, which is today, or tomorrow.
Oh, they got told to take one off the
Sorry,
website.
today. So here's the deal, and I will say to all of you, all right, the applications have been out. He's had a wrath of them. We've sent out. He's got some in, but because they're coming into the campus, that room will only hold 18 students. So if someone is late on getting their application in, they may not be able to make the class because of the size. So if you've got anybody out there that's thinking they want to do it and they're just taking their old merry time, you might want to mention to them they need to get it in, Eric.
Donna, would it be worth mentioning to the college, knowing that that revenue is probably down across the board, possibly just doing 2 cohorts if there's more than 18?
They would have to, well, if they're going to do that, they got to find another instructor then. I mean, we discussed that with them already, that, you know, we looked at a couple of possibilities and that type of thing. So Jake's handling that end of it.
Okay.
Again, that would be, you know, would there be enough for a second cohort? I don't know.
Okay.
Because they would look at how many will it take to justify paying for Jake and then what's left over.
Okay.
Hey, Jason, aren't you an instructor?
Yes. I don't have any time.
So.
I feel you.
But I would just, you know, I would urge if anybody is out there that's got applications and they're just deciding what they want to do, they need to move along a little bit.
Madam Chairman, I would move we accept Donna's report.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Nominating committee, Terry?
Yeah, we have 2 new people that have sent in their applications. The only problem we've got is I have only 1 seat. So we are going to have to vote. And John has a setup that's going to come right up on your screen. And you vote for whichever one you know or like, or however you want to look at it. The 2 nominations are, I have Betty Hubbard. She rides not only just Middlesex, but she also rides Canandaigua. And the other one is actually Eric Burns, who rides at Finger Lakes. So those 2 are on the line to be voted in. So John, do you have that set up? Yep. Basically, folks, you got to vote for just 1.
Well, that was pretty snazzy.
Yeah, I like that.
Nice job, John.
Yeah.
Yes, John. Mr. Secretary, do you see Valerie has joined us?
I do, and I've added her to the role as well as Daryl Bailey.
All right, thank you.
The other thing with this is whoever does not get in, we're going to hold their applications to see if anybody runs away.
Oh, absolutely. I think that's a smart idea.
Either runs away by force or runs away because we didn't give them a choice.
And I'm coming with
Do
you.
they have to be screaming when they run away, or?
We
We kind of appreciate that when they're screaming. Makes us think we did something right.
Okay, your results from your vote should be on your screen.
All right.
I'd say Miss Hubbard is the one that's in.
Again, nice job, John.
Yes. I wish we'd had you last meeting.
Right.
Is there anything else for nomination committee? And Terry, you'll take care of contacting Mr. Burns?
Yep.
Thank you. Tell him we want him, just not today. Going into unfinished, is there anything else for nomination committee?
I have a quick question. Does
Yes.
anybody know offhand how long it's been since this council's been full?
Years and years and years.
I think it's fantastic. I mean, it sucks we had to turn somebody away, but I think it's great and speaks volumes that we had to.
I do too. It's nice. It's really nice. And I thank you all, because you don't think you're important until we nail you for something, but I appreciate all you people. It is so nice to see a full council. So I thank you all. So moving right along, unfinished. What?
That's why we keep you in charge.
Yeah. It's because nobody else will do it. I know. Moving right along, unfinished business. Do we have any? I don't think so, but bearing none with that, new business. I know, John, we have a CON.
We do have a CON. It's kind of a formality. It is a Monroe ambulance. Their original owner on record had passed away, and what we need to do tonight is vote on the transfer of ownership to the two sons. This is a multi-regional CON process involving, I believe it's Monroe, Livingston, and that is at Big Lakes or Big Flats? Big Lakes.
Yes, you're correct.
So I believe Melrams may have just voted or are going to be voting here in the near future. We did, our bylaws committee did review the packet that was sent out. And Monroe County, we kind of piggy-tailed with their attorney usage to save funding for the ambulance company. And there was only a few small items that needed to be corrected within their packet. And they corrected those, resubmitted them through the attorney, and he deemed it to be acceptable. So we forwarded that off to the Bureau and have received the fitness and competency statement accordingly. So it is our job tonight to either vote to approve their transfer of ownership or vote to deny, given that this is pretty straightforward, and at least in my opinion it is, and based on what they're asking us to do.
This will
Bill
be.
Little Wayne.
Oh, I'm sorry, Bill. Go ahead.
I was just going to move the adoption of the proposal and move their transfer of ownership ahead.
Do we have a second for that?
I'll second it.
Just as a point of clarification, and Ed, correct me if I'm wrong, this their piece of territory within our region falls in the SOTUS area, when Medic 8801 used to be up there years ago at the Myers Hospital, running ambulance calls greater than probably 15, 20 years ago.
Sure.
Yes, John, you are correct, because I remember that, but this is a roll call vote. I want to remind you that this is not a personal opinion. This is for what's good for the services of our people. So John, could we have a roll call, or Mr. Secretary, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Absolutely. Daryl Bailey. Daryl Bailey,
Daryl, you're muted.
moving along, Kevin Becker.
Yay.
Okay, Laura Brewer,
Yeah.
Jackie DeShaw,
Yes.
Everett Ferguson,
Yes.
Diane Gary,
Yes.
myself, yes, Jeremy Harris,
Yes.
Tyler Harris,
Yeah.
David Hubble,
Yes.
Fiona,
Yes.
Sandy Johnson,
Yes.
Vicky is absent, Ray Kriegelstein,
Yes.
Gloria Lance Taylor,
Yes.
Bill Little,
Yes.
Kevin Lightfoot,
Yes.
Brian Mace,
Yes.
Mike Moss is absent, Richard Mumford,
Yes.
Brian Okay. That might have been a yes. You were inaudible, sir.
Yes.
Miles Pearson,
Yes.
Terry Phillips,
Yes.
Patty Pearson,
Yes.
Aaron Reese,
Yes.
Valerie Schoen,
Yes.
Chad Smith,
Yes.
Matt Sproul,
Yes.
Eric Williams.
Yes.
And we'll try Daryl Bailey one more time. Okay, no audio response from Daryl, but it passes unanimously with the exception of Mr. Bailey.
Thank you. Is there any other new business?
Diane, there was a question earlier about the council. Was that a question how long it's been in business? And you said years and years?
Don't know how long since we've had a full house.
Oh, yeah. I don't think we ever have.
You know, we did a long, long time ago, but if anybody really wonders, it's on our Signia. We started in 1986. And we have several charter members left.
I was born the year before that.
Make us feel old.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Jeremy.
What? Okay, sorry.
So I have to read some information to you from the Department of Health. People that have either suspended or surrendered their licenses. The first one is Brian McIntyre from Long Beach, New York. EMT number 382912. He has surrendered his license. We have a Nicole Mills from Newfane, New York. EMT number 376721. She's been placed on 3 years probation starting 10/20 and suspended for 1 year from 10/20. The suspension has stayed. Neil Toom from Port Chester, New York. His EMT number is 410570. He has surrendered his license as of 10/21/20. Diane Wagner, Wagerik from Old Bridge, New Jersey. Her EMT number is 460582. She's on 3 years probation starting 10/6/2020. Bensthurst Volunteer Ambulance Service in Brooklyn, New York. Agency code number 7193 is suspended for 1 year starting 9/23/20. The suspension is stayed. Has been placed on probation for 2 years effective 9/23/2020 and also assessed a civil penalty. Must hire a consultant and provide regular reports to the department. And our last one is Nicholas Walker from Plattsburgh, New York. His EMT number is 422046. He has been suspended for 1 year effective 9/23/20. The suspension is stayed pending completion of a full PALS and ACLS course within the next 6 months. And he was placed on 3 years probation starting 9/23/2020. And that's it for him. That's our list of people. Is there anything else for the good of the council?
I do
Question,
like the
please.
idea that all those numbers were high. 3, 7, 4s.
No offense, it's because you're 00001.
Actually, I'm a
I was gonna say,
3.
it's only because there's so many of us here that are so old.
Oh, is that it?
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we adjourn.
Brian
Second.
May, second.
I thank you all. I wish you a very happy Thanksgiving. Be safe. Merry Christmas. Be safe. Watch out for everyone and be kind. Thank you all.
Wear your mask.
Yeah,
Thank
back at you.
Good night.
We got all in favor here.
Oh, all in
Aye.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Bye.
Please wear your masks.
We wish you had a full face mask.
John, I'm surprised you're not sporting your